Good morning. This is a blog about intense realism. The word is intense realism. Now, first, we must understand what is the difference between a realist and a dreamer. Some people might take the word realist into other domains like going even cynical or even Machiavellian. But realist is who is aware of his thought and the space around him in the real sense. Dreamer is a person who will have a dream, who will be detached from the real world around him or from the inner world that he has, and he will have hopes which might never be fulfilled. Dreamers will make you fall, or if you are only a dreamer, you will fall. But if you are a realist, in the history, the realists have won wars, they have changed the course of history, and they have made great inventions. Dreamers may have false hopes, as already said, but one thing is very important, and that is that they might not see through reality. They might only see the face of a situation or a person or a scenario and not look at the back, what is hidden. The realist, on the other hand, will see the purpose behind the face or the meaning behind the word or the meanings between the lines. The realist will forecast what is coming. The dreamer might just be sitting, waiting for the dream to come true, which will actually never. So, to lead a better life, or to lead a group of people, or to be a leader, one has to be a realist in the sense that is already discussed. So, the negative connotation of Machiavellian or cynical or more practical or even going into the negativities does not exist with the realism. See, we live in this world which is real and our life is real. When we were a child, we did not have any preconceptions. This is very important. We were open to the world and we were ready to learn new things. The emotions that flew from our heart, the thoughts that flew from our mind, the rational, logical thinking was unbiased, and there were no preconceptions. And we would see what is coming day in, day out, day in, day, and night in. So, the important thing is to get rid of the preconceptions that we already have. See, a good thing might become a bad thing in the present or the future, and a bad thing in the past might become a good thing. So whenever we come across a person, a group of people, or a scenario in life, or a challenge in life, or a stress, we must take that there is a face value, there is a face to it, and then there is a meaning behind it. There is a reality behind it. We have to be practical. We have to see that meaning or the reality which is behind that face. For example, we see a group of people with whom we interact, and when we see them, we might shy away from what we want to believe is true, which is actually the reality. Because some people think that if the reality comes in, it brings depression. But remember, if you see the motives, the intentions behind the faces, behind the scenarios, it might seem that it will depress you, but actually it has been seen with time and with the experience of people and with objective scientific studies that clarity is mastery. When you become clear of the motives, the incentives, the intentions that are behind the curtain or which are behind the faces, then we tend to become more energetic and we are able to sail through that challenge or pass through that obstruction or obstacle with real energy and force, because we know that when we anticipate and when we preempt, we are ready for that plan which we have in mind. And the plans that we have are by rational, logical thinking and by intuitions we have. Intuitions are by experience. But for one thing said, we should give up preconceptions. We should take the moment as such and see it through all of the clarity that we can gather. That doesn't mean we do not plan. That doesn't mean we do not take care of the experience which has been our teacher or our soulmate or our companion. But we have to give up the preconceptions. Also, when we tend to get away from reality, for example, we want to achieve a goal and we have achieved that goal. And by doing so, we tend to relax. We tend to get flexible. We tend to get soft corners in our heart and softer mind. And we tend to give the analytical part to the emotional part. Now, what is happening? We are shying away from the reality, the intense realism that we have. And when we have this shying away from the intense realism or the reality, we tend to give up the power that the intense reality brings, or the facing of the reality or understanding of the reality, the power that it brings, we tend to give it away. So all the times we have to be aware of the thought, our inner self, and of the space around us, the surroundings, and the challenges coming from inside ourselves and from outside world. Remember, this world is become a global comparative world. It has been like this for quite a time now, and in the future, as we see through, it's going to be more and more global comparative world. There will be fantasies thrown at you, dreams thrown at you. Now one can do is just dream about the good things. But the thing is, there are negativities in the world along with the positivities. So we have to understand the real reality, the intense realism that is there, so that we get cleared up in our mind what to expect, when to act. It is said that life is difficult, but once you realize that life is difficult, life is no more difficult. Now this is accepting the reality, facing the reality. It is said that men will be men and life will be life. There will be challenges. And if we are preemptive, if we are prepared for those challenges, or we expect those challenges to come, we have a plan A, B, C, or D. Or maybe the only one plan that we do or die. But mostly we have 1, 2, 3, 4 plans. So to face the reality and to give up preconceptions, living in the moment and planning for the future and the experience that we have gained from the past all contribute to clarity, and clarity is mastery. So we must focus on the reality, though we can dream, but with the margin of reality coming into it.